Red Bull are out of the blocks fast for day 3 of testing, having started to add some new components to the RB21 in an effort to get a baseline on them against the data they'd captured during the first 2 days of testing. There's likely to be more added to the car during the day, too. But they've kicked things off by installing a new nose and front wing to the RB21, which will, of course, have a wide-reaching effect on the behavior of the rest of the car. There's really nothing radical about the changes that we're seeing here for Red Bull, but there are a number of alterations, starting with a shorter nose tip, which now sits on the second element rather than the main plane, old specification, inset on featured image above. This is a configuration that Red Bull have used in the past, with a similar setup employed on the RB19, and, just as was the case in that instance, the nose tip had a rounder appearance and sat back off the second element's leading edge. Furthermore, without the nose to bridge the gap between the two front wing elements, a pair of slot gap separator brackets have been added once more in order to provide the necessary support required. This contemporary solution does have some differences, though, with the main body of the nose shaped differently to its predecessors, as it appears to have more of a bulbous front section that tapers toward the middle before flaring out once more where it meets the chassis. The changes made to the shape of the nose also mean that the front wing has been restructured, with the static sections beside the nose reduced in size in order that the adjustable sections on the upper two flaps can retain their ratio. Of course, at this point, it would be remiss of me not to mention flexibility, with Red Bull one of the teams that believed they had much more scope in this regard when it came to meeting the limits that will now only be in place for the first 8 races of the season, with more stringent tests being introduced thereafter. As such, you would expect Red Bull to have spent a healthy chunk of their development budget on altering the behavior of the wing to take advantage of the performance that's on offer, especially as it has historically been one of their strong suits.